I always feel inspired when people come to me. It just makes me want to work harder because I'm like, okay, I got to keep pushing because people are liking what I'm doing. So I got to keep pushing. One of a kind.
Welcome to another episode of the Expressurlifestyle podcast. We got Trounce God in the building. How you doing, my guy?
Doing good, man.
Everything been good with you?
Oh yeah, everything been good, man. Appreciate you for having me.
What you been working on lately? How's the tapes going? How's the artistry going? How's everything been going for you?
Everything's been going good, but I've been working on a project with, my lady. We got all the songs, pretty much together. We're getting our lyrics together. I'm helping her a little bit, We're working on that, and then also my solo tape I'm gonna be dropping this year as well.
What's the solo tape called?
It's called Infinite Years. It's basically to piggyback off of my first tape, which is called The Birth of Trounce. Y'all go check that out. It's on Apple Music. It's on everything. So
classic.
So go check that out. It's basically Asian, but kind of that great artist that I'm trying to be. You start off somewhere. Everyone has to start off somewhere. Birth of Trounce was the beginning of what I'm trying to become, and the Infinite Years is what comes next after the birth of any baby or whatever.
Thanks.
So by the time I'm done, I'm trying to be a man.
So the Infinite Years, when are you expecting to drop that?
Sometime later this year. I'm gonna drop the collab tape with me and my lady first, probably this summer. Don't have all the girls maybe in their feelings or maybe trying to just party. We'll see. I mean, we're gonna have a mixture of both vibes on there.
And you say in their feelings?
It's gonna have them in their feelings like but they gonna want a boyfriend instead of having a hot girl summer. We'll see how people react to it. A lot of people like the Sunny Days song, so.
Speaking of the Sunny Days song, bro, that's a hit right there. When I heard that song, I'm a real music listener, you know what I'm saying? And I heard the song, and I'm just hearing your bars, and I'm hearing the chorus and everything that's being orchestrated. Girl come out, she looking yummy. You know me, I stuck, I'm looking like some money. Talk to me about your vision on creating those bars for that song.
First, to start off on those two lyrics, my girl always says that I look nice, that I dress nice. So, I look like a little money, So, but to go on the other side, the first bar, that she look yummy. I mean,
looking yummy.
I don't know if y'all seen her, but she look yummy to me. Everyone tell her that she's beautiful. So, I just tell her in a different way. And coming off, like you said, the lyrics, most of my lyrics, if not all of them, they're based off of past events that's happened with me. So we've been on trips to Miami and to Cali. I put that kind of in the thing. I basically go off of how I went about a day. Sometimes especially when I tell stories, I go about my experiences, what we did. The Sunny Days it's like an overview of the vacations that we've been on, and everything's always good when we're on vacation. Everything's sunny, everything's lovely, and we just enjoy ourselves the most.
Basically, it's about true shit that's actually occurring.
Yeah, most of my music is like that. I mean, I'm just a realist. I'm gonna make music that makes me happy, and two, allows me to be myself, allows me to be real without changing anything. I'm not finna be rapping about shooting nobody down or nothing like that, selling drugs and nothing like that.
Facts.
I mean, because that's not who I am. So I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to stay positive. Hopefully, my lane allows me to enter, the music industry and have a part in it.
In your lane, what would you define your lane as? Do you feel you have a great consumer base that, respects the type of music you make?
It's crazy that. So my first project, Birth of Trounce, is basically 3 different parts in it. Love songs. I only had one on there. One is a hood, a drill song. And then the other ones are basically how I want to express myself. Shout out to Lost in the Game. That's still a classic. I was just playing it before we started this. I made those 3 different parts. I basically got what I needed from the viewers, from, using that and see which lane that not only I like the most, but what the viewers like the most. And viewers like the most, the lane that I kind of stayed, to myself. They like the love songs and stuff too. That's why, I continued with making this, making songs with Claudia and yeah.
So when you're making songs with Claudia, I kind of picture you on some player type vibes.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, she bring the best out of me on a song. I mean, cause one, when I go to record, shout out to my boy Chip. When I go to record, he always tell me, you better not let her wipe you on this. So So she always bring the best out of me. She always makes sure that, you know, she does her job very well. And she's been in music, you know, nearly all her life.
I was gonna ask that, bro, cause you know your producer's telling you don't let her wipe you. Cause I'm hearing her vocals on there, and God, the background vocals, the actual choruses, the melodies, everything sounded fire. Was she always gifted with that?
To be honest, she's always been talented. She's always been able to sing. She's played instruments, you know, when she was younger. But she was in the chorus, you know, when we were in high school. She's always been a very good singer. But once I started doing music, releasing the music, and I told her, I said, like, I need a singer. I said, I want to make songs that's not only just rap. You can rap and, you know, have people that sing, which personally me, like, some of my favorite songs are when it's a mixture of both. So I was like, Claudia, I need you to sing. And at first, she didn't want to do it. But she was like, no, this is about you. You working with me is only going to make me better. You know, the one thing that she struggles with mostly is, of course, writing. That's the one thing I don't struggle on. I help her out every now and then. And
you guys do the song process together. Mm-hmm. You kind of ask her, okay, what are you feeling for this song? How can I help you? And you kind of help her construct the actual lyrics and melodies for that song.
I listen to beats, you know, sometimes when I go to my regular job. If I really like it and I feel like that's her vibe, I'm going to send it to her. And I'm going to ask her, you know, if she likes it or not. She says she likes it or loves it or whatever. I'm going to ask her, well, what do you think we should talk about in this song? I've never, like, made music with someone that the first time, like, we ever talk about it or record, it's just like, it just clicks. It usually takes me like a song or two with somebody to, okay, so I know how they come in. I know what they like to, you know, rap about or what they like to do. Now I can adjust and we can combine it and make something good. But for her, it was just instant.
What are you expecting from the joint project that you guys are planning to release? What are your expectations for that?
As far as like the results we get or like the reviews or...
I mean, as far as the music, you know what I'm saying? The music that you guys are creating.
Like I said, we're going to make all different types of songs. It's not going to be like all lovey-dovey. We've been working on a few different titles to what we want to call it. One we had was called Love Season, which was just like the season of love, this and that. Came up with another one too. It's called I Love Summer. But I mean, but you know, we're gonna figure out the title. It's gonna be different kind of vibes for, you know, for each song. It's not gonna be the same.
I've been tapped into R&B as of lately, and I'm hearing the song.
Me too as well.
Yeah, bro, I'm hearing the song, and I'm like, this is like a perfect blend. I don't know if it's because you guys are married, but the chemistry on there was just super crazy, and I can appreciate that music, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the joint project.
I really appreciate that, because the goal up to make a song like that, and you're not the only one that's told me that. You know, a couple of my friends have told me that, like, man, I just want to go on vacation as soon as I hear it.
Exactly.
and that's what we're aiming for towards the summer. I mean, we don't want people just, you know, going out spending money if they ain't got it, but you know, we want them to try to enjoy the summer, try to enjoy life, because life is too short. You know, you gotta enjoy it, and that's why we push music like this to get people to, you know, enjoy it, you know, along with the music. Make me think like, oh, well, I can be doing that. You know, I can be going to Cali, I can be going to Miami, I can be going out of the country, and we can be splurging on the beach. You know what I'm saying? We can go into the mall, have a steak dinner, you know, something like that. So, I mean, but it's not for everybody. Some people don't. You know, some people don't want to spend the money. So
you gonna have these niggas spend the check for the steak dinners.
Yeah. So you know, be careful out there, man. You know, don't spend too much on her if you know she's not the one. And everyone knows that they're the one. So
definitely one of my favorites that I'm bumping consistently. And one of the other songs that you did solo, "The Sky Is the Limit," and one of the only videos that you kind of shot. Kind of give us some background information on that video shoot and that song. What does the title mean to you?
First things first, shout out to my boy BC.
Of course.
Hey, go get at him, man. He does it all, the cover art, the videos. Shout out to him, man, because he put a lot of work into that. But we both put in a lot of work. Took us, you know, days, you know, several different days. You know, we did different scenes. You know, he was there when I needed him. I ain't gonna lie, when I first like wrote this song, this was right after like I finished the birth. Not like when I released it, but right after I finished the birth of Trounce. This is when I wrote this song. I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, do I need to put this on project? I was like, bro, this song's crazy. I'm like, it don't even fit on the project. It's different to me. So of course, I dropped my project. Then I went back and I actually edited some of the song. And then when I finished it, that was my first single after my first take. And man, the reviews I got from like, you know, peers and not even just peers, everybody that heard it, like, wow, you took a huge step forward from your first project.
Just a single?
Exactly. From just the single, they was like, shout out to my boy Jordan. He said, I think you found your sound right there. And I was like, damn, like, wow. My boy Junchi too, he told me, he said, bro, this song hard, bro. I done played it so many times. I just felt like, damn, like, I never thought I would get to that point where people was like, your shit is fire.
And you didn't feel like that when you dropped the Birth of Trounce?
The thing is, I did feel the Birth of Trounce was good, but like, I got the same reviews, but everyone was telling me after that song, they was like, yeah, you took a different step. And that's what made me like realize, okay, I need to do more with this song.
And when you wrote that song, what kind of mindset was you in?
To be honest, crazy, bro. Nigga done been through a lot, but after that, bro, like when I wrote that song, I actually got laid off by my former job at Enterprise. I didn't have any job. I was unemployed when I wrote it, and I guess that's what inspired me the most to do it, because what I realized writing it is that I can do a lot of stuff, and that's why the sky is the limit, because anything's achievable, you know, if you put your mind to it. Sitting at the house thinking about a job that I've been at for 3 to 4 years, and just to be laid off, I mean, it was during COVID, so, you know, they had to make some cuts. But just to be there for so long and, you know, just to not move anywhere forward. But like the music, it's like I'm already moving forward more than I ever did with a job. That's what made me write this song. Like, anything is possible for Trounce God. And that's why I named it The Sky's the Limit. I mean, when I first started writing it, I'll freestyle in the car. You know, just to the beat and see what kind of flows I like. I ain't gonna lie, like most of the time the hook comes from that, and that's when the hook came from. I was riding around one day, I was just like, damn, the sky look nice as fuck today. And then I came across that beat and I was like, damn, imagine if I was up there. I was like, you know what, the sky's the limit, you know. Let me just start rapping about some shit. I was just like, you know what, that makes sense to start off a line with, so. When I was like, the sky's the limit, I just was like, okay, well, what we're around with that? I said, oh, niggas timid. So I just, you know, try to come up with like shit that sounds good. And if it sounds good to me, after I, you know, come to a full conclusion of what I want to, you know, present as a hook, that's when I write it. So I won't forget it. I see how it sounds over, you know, recording, and see if it's, you know, something that sticks. But everyone said that song, and to this day it's a fight between that and Sunny Days as to my favorite song. Two Cities too, that was my first single. Those three, it's a fight in between which one's my favorite. Sky's the Limit just made me want to put a visual on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to this day, that's one of the only videos that I've seen that you have out. Why did you decide to make a video to that song?
One, as an artist, you do have to look at your numbers. You have to look at, you know, what's being played the most. That was a song that was played the most. Like when I first started, you know, talking about me wanting to do a video, that was the song that was played the most out of all of my songs. This was before Sunny Days though.
Even songs that you had on The Birth of Trounce, that was the most played song?
Yep, because when I started looking at the video, it was like months after I dropped it, and I dropped it again on my EP, and it was getting played the most. Every project it was on, it had a star next to it, so I was like, damn, a lot of people was playing this shit. So, and it was one of my favorites already, so I'm like, okay, all these people playing it, and it's my favorite. I gotta make a video to it. That's what inspired me to make that video for that one. You never know, Sunny Days might have a video coming. So
we need that. Y'all gonna have to take another vacation just to shoot that shit.
We're gonna take some trips. We're gonna be out of the country when we shoot that. But
bro,
yeah.
I really like the song The Sky is the Limit, because it really just explaining and speaking your mind about how shit can be possible.
That was the main thing for the song. Like I said, when I wrote it, bro, I ain't gonna say I was in my darkest moment, but I was pretty down. I was pretty bummed about myself. You know, I just felt like that I didn't do enough when I was working because, you know, they just let me go. I was like, bro, I gotta put effort into something that's inspiring to me, and music is very inspirational to me. I've been doing music for, you know, forever. I first started with, you know, EAB, my boy Derek.
EAB.
When we first started, we was recording at his house, you know, and that was when I really fell in love with music. From then on, it's been straightforward. That's what inspired me. Like I said, that I'm not gonna rap about nothing that I ain't really been through too much. And everything at that moment when I was writing that song, it just made me inspired. I just had to put it all together.
So nobody wants to be laid off, bro, but do you feel like that was kind of like a blessing in disguise for you to turn up with the music?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That was the best thing that happened. That was the best thing that, I feel like that's the best thing that probably could ever happen to me. one, it made me realize outside of music that, you know, too much of yourself, even if you work overboard, you can still be laid off at the end of the day. It's kind of upsetting, but that's how, you know, life is. That's why I want to be a self-owner, you know, own my own stuff, including my music, which Trounce Productions. That's what I own. That's gonna be what I'm gonna push all my music forward. I mean, me personally, I don't want to sound anybody. I mean, and I don't knock anyone that does, because that's what helps them. I'm gonna rock it out until I can't rock it out anymore, because I don't want no one taking advantage of me. I've already been taken advantage of in the work industry. Why would I go to another industry and get taken advantage of as well?
How do you feel about yourself as an artist right now, and kind of give us some feedback on Trounce Productions and your future plans for that?
So, how I feel as an artist right now? Well, my mind is everywhere. I love hearing different kinds of beats. That's what makes me a better artist, because if someone can hear you on a different beat than what you usually make or what you usually, you know, rap to, then, and you do well on it, they're gonna be like, okay, he's versatile. He can do pretty much anything.
Thanks.
His lane is pretty much secured on his own, because ain't nobody doing this, and that. So that's where I feel like I am as an artist. I'm trying to become more versatile and do different beats. Not do the same beats, although I love the beat selections that I had on you know, my previous projects. But I want to also add something a little different where, you know, maybe people outside of my race or even outside of my, you know, group will be like, oh, this sounds different. They'll enjoy it more than what other people will. And I don't have no problem with no one disliking one of my songs. I just want to make sure I create a song or create multiple songs on the tape that everyone will like one of the songs on there, you know. Everyone doesn't have to like every song, and that's what people tend to get messed up at. They try to create the same song over and over and over, and yeah, that certain group will like it, but what about the ones that didn't like the first song you did, and
Exactly.
therefore they didn't like the whole tape? So you gotta switch it up and make sure you put different songs out there.
Do you feel like you have a consistent target audience that rocks with your music?
Not yet. Of course, my target right now is to get everyone, but I don't feel like I'm there yet. Of course, you know, just started a couple years ago, so no one's gonna get there that fast, you know, unless you sign your soul away. But we're not gonna talk about that. So I just feel like moving forward that you have to be patient with it and just have to let shit happen. And it's gonna happen if you just keep working, you keep trying. It's gonna eventually work out for you. You know, like I said, you just gotta put the effort in. You gotta believe that you can do it. You know, you can't just say I'm gonna do it. A lot of people do music because one of their homies was like, "Dang, bro, well you know how to rap, but do you want to rap? You know what I'm saying? Well, do you want to do this?
Exactly.
Do you want to go on tour? Do you want to, you know, be long nights writing,
Yeah, man, the
writing
passion for it.
songs? Exactly. Are you gonna be up at 3 a.m.? Some of my best songs, Sky's the Limit, I was up till 4 a.m. writing.
That's what I'm saying about how important it is to really take this serious.
It's crazy. Going back to lyrics, first song well, not the first song, but the intro to my first project, The Birth of Trounce, I mentioned in a couple of my lyrics that people want to be the next Drake, but don't know what it takes. I go on to, you know, in that song talk about, you know, how people, sometimes they'll get over passionate and push themselves to the limit and, you know, they'll start popping pills or start doing other stuff. And, you know, me, you know, I'm a proud grass smoker. I love the lovely nature. But, so, that's never really gave me problems to anybody as far as, you know, like overdose or nothing like that. I just feel like that doing all these pills and drinking lean and all of that, you know, to cope with, you know, your music, that means that you feel like your life is not as worthy as the music that you're making. And I don't feel like people should ever get to that point. I feel like if you're over passionate about something, you need to take a break from it. Gather yourself back, because everybody has depression. I feel like, I don't feel like no one's always 100% happy. I feel like literally everyone in this world has went through some point of depression. You know, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you have, but I know that I have personally. Like, I've had moments where I was depressed, and you know, you gotta gather yourself. You gotta realize, like, I'm doing this more than for just me. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing for me. I'm doing it for my wife. You know, I'm doing it for any future kids we have. I don't want to let any of them down. I'm gonna be positive and passionate about what I want to do.
So when you're doing this music, bro, I know you said you've been through depression and whatnot, right? Have you ever been through a situation where you put in, because you've been grinding, bro. I kind of really account 2020, you dropped multiple tapes within a single year. Have you felt like
And a deluxe.
a deluxe? You know what I'm saying? Have you felt like you dropping all this music, you really pushing yourself as an artist, and people just really not catching on the Trounce God? People really just not understanding the music, understanding your brand.
You know what's crazy? And you know, Junchi told me this.
Shout out to that boy.
Yeah, definitely.
He gonna keep it real.
Yeah, definitely. That's my dog. And he told me, he said, you know, once you drop, bro, you gotta keep dropping. He was like, do the Gucci, bro. Just drop and keep dropping. I was like, you know what? You might be onto something.
And that's when you started to drop the deluxe and the multiple takes within 1 year.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I dropped my tape in like May. Dropped the EP in like August.
Sheesh. All tough, by the way.
I appreciate it. You were on every single one of them.
The deluxe tape, bro.
Yeah, it dropped on my birthday.
That shit right there, bro, is good music.
I appreciate it, man. That was crazy. One of my homies that actually I met through John and George, his name Rashawn, and go check out his music. He's the real deal too. It's crazy that he hit me up about one of the songs on the original. He was like, bro, that beat goes crazy. I'm like, well, get on the remix. he was like, bro, you lying? Like, no, I'm dead ass. And he was on the remix, and he was on the deluxe that we dropped. You know, I'm gonna keep my word on, you know, anything. I always want me and my homies to thrive. I always, like, I never want none of us to not thrive. I always want us to be successful. You know, like you said, all of those tapes were also predicated to amazing features on there. It wasn't just, you know, me, and shout out to haters. That song was crazy. I had my boy K-Ro on it. This guy right here.
Hey, bro.
Bro, that shit.
You didn't even have a verse on there, bro. That just speaks to you just showing your friends the love to just hop on the verse, you get on the chorus.
But that's crazy, because I ain't gonna lie, when I first wrote the hook, I didn't know that shit was fire. Now, it was fire to me. I'm like, what are other people gonna think? The moment that we went to the studio and we recorded it, everybody in the studio was like, bro, that hook was hard as hell, bro. We gotta come with our shit. I was like, oh damn. I was like, shit, okay.
Most definitely, bro. Man, really, I be talking like I'm not a rapper no more, but I definitely do that shit. But listen, bro, that was definitely one of my best features I've ever done. I really sat down and constructed that verse, and I really tried to make sure that I gave you the best quality shit.
I appreciate
and
that.
And the features on there, they went up too. That's a hard song. Recording session was ridiculous.
It was crazy. Yeah, man.
That was a crazy recording session. Like, that boy John came in there and was like, oh, I gotta come hard on there. I just heard that boy T.E. on there, like, I gotta come hard. And Crow, he came on there last minute type stuff. He did his thing as well. Like, really appreciate you for letting me get on that song.
Oh yeah, man. To be honest, man, that's just crazy. Like, I knew when I came up with the hook, I was like, bro, I gotta get other people on this song. I said this hook is not meant to just be for me.
You had to get a verse on there, bro. You just did the hook. Like, you had to get a verse on there, bro.
I mean, you know, I said a little something at the end, but you know, the thing is that how it was playing, like the little couple bars I had at the end. It was really supposed to be for my boy Travis. Shout out to him. You know, free him. He was actually supposed to be on it, but some situations happened and we couldn't get him on it. That was really who was supposed to close it out. And it was, I feel like the song would have just went crazy. It would have just been like, it might have been on the radio, we never know. Like,
no, that song can still be on the radio. I knew it was going to be other features on there. You had the hook, these niggas haters over here because they ain't popping. That just set the tone for the song.
And the thing is that I ain't tell nobody that I was dropping that deluxe. Like, and you know, when I talked to Rashawn about the song with the remix, you know, he was asking me, oh yeah, so when you gonna drop it? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. It's gonna come. So you know, that's when I dropped it on the. Oh, shout out to my boy Jordan. He was on the end too. He was doing a little what do you call it, like a Desi Banks type, you know, Mike Epps type. Yeah, man. So. He's the next comedian up. Watch out for him.
Oh, most definitely. Jordan is funny as fuck.
Yeah, working on that whole project was just crazy, bro. The Superfly song. Juwan had hit me up. He was like, bro, that shit's so smooth. And that actually came from previous experiences as well. I remember Junchi had asked about it. He was like, who's the song about? I can't tell you who it's about, but just know that, you know, that everything that I, you know, created comes from like within. That's what I try to push. So people can recognize who I truly am. It's a blessing.
When you dropped the first tape, not the deluxe, people started to hit you up and started to want to work with you.
With Rashawn, when he hit me up, he was just saying the beat was hard. Well, of course, he loved the song, but he was like, bro, that beat's so crazy, bro. I was like,
hop on it.
I said, get on it. I mean, well, I'm not selfish. Well, like I told you, I want all my niggas to eat. Boy, he did his thing. That was my first time, you know, in the studio session with him, and we definitely be working more in the future.
Is that your favorite project?
That's a tough one. because you can't forget your baby, you know, your very first one.
The first one definitely memorable, but when you drop a deluxe to a project, you really believe in that shit.
I feel like, yeah, right now it is because one, it's my most recent, and two, I feel like I put the most effort into that one. Like you said, coming up with more songs for the deluxe, and like the last song, I tied in all the songs on the deluxe. And when Chip heard it, he was like, because the beat had changed, he was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing now. and Rayshawn, once again, he had hit me up. He was like, bruh, the way you put all the songs at the end, like all the song titles, he was like, bruh, that shit was crazy. And I literally came up with that after I finished writing the song out. Because when the beat had changed, I'm like, what can I put here? I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna name every song. So I just named, every, the songs with these lyrics. It was 8 bars. So it was 8 songs on the deluxe that was added to the original. So I was able to get out the 7 songs prior to that. I felt like it was just the perfect setup because I'm like, I have 8 songs that I added and it's 8 lines. So it's the perfect setup to put each song with each line. You know what I'm saying? Just to basically summarize the project at the end.
The fact that you actually are taking your artistry seriously and creating the deluxe, like, hey bro, I dropped a 5 mixtape. I'm gonna hit y'all with a deluxe. That's why I asked you if that was your best take, because it seemed like artists are hitting you up like, hey bro, I really like that beat, I really like that song, hey, let's work. How did you feel about that?
I always feel inspired when people come to me. It just makes me want to work harder because I'm like, okay, I gotta keep pushing because people are liking what I'm doing, so I gotta keep pushing. One of a kind on the deluxe. I feel like that's why I named it One of a Kind, because I wanted to set the tone that I am different from other people, and I looked it up. I'm the first nigga to drop a deluxe on an EP. I put that in the song, I'm the first nigga to drop a deluxe.
I really want to know your recording process when you're going into the studio. I know you're just going in there, you're locking in with your boy Chip.
That's my boy, man. Hey, shout out to him. Without him, none of this be possible. You know, sometimes when I go to the studio, I ain't gonna lie, probably like 90% of my songs though that I record and like put on my projects are pre-written. Before I even go to the studio, they've been rehearsed over and over to the point I don't have to look at my lyrics to do the song.
I'm really a big advocate on quality over quantity. I don't care if you go into the studio and you make a hell of songs. What's the quality looking like? I respect that you rehearse your songs multiple times before you go into the studio and actually record it.
That's probably the biggest thing to my growth because, and it's crazy, I mean, of course, when I first started, I used to just read. BC told me this too. He was like, bruh, you got the bars, but where's the passion? He's like, man, you gotta sound like you want to say it. You know, he was like, you saying it like, you know, like, and it's like, bro, we can see you got bars. We can see that, you know what I'm saying, you could put stuff together, metaphors together, but you gotta say it with passion. And that's when, you know, I started rehearsing songs, and, you know, I would record myself, of course, and I'd be like, how does this sound? So, of course, when I used to record, I just used to, you know, read. I wouldn't get the final product until after the session was over, and then I can't go back and re-record the same song because then you got to pay double, basically. That's when I realized, okay, I need to listen to the song before I even go to the studio to record it. That's when I started rehearsing it and recording it, and if that first part didn't scratch, if it didn't sound good, if I played, I'm like, this nigga, no. That's what the rehearsing got me to do. It got me to say shit with passion, and boy, like, did that shit pay off, because, like, now all of my songs, people can hear, like, oh, shit, like, so then when I get in the studio, I try to bring that same energy, and shout out to my boy Chip again. He always tells me, nah, that wasn't it, and you gotta have someone like that. You don't need no yes man around you, especially in the music industry, because if everyone telling you, yeah, bro, that shit go crazy, if everyone telling you that, you just gonna think that you the shit, when really, like, niggas really should be telling you, like, yo, you might need to stop. You know, so like, you know, for him, like, you know, he's already told me, he was like, you're super talented. And shout out to my boy Brandon, he actually introduced me to him. That's my best man, that's my dog. But, you know, he introduced me to him because they work together, and that connection's been automatic since, because he's gonna always tell me, run it back. And I'm telling you, like, it don't sound like that I just killed that shit. Like, I can fucking rap the whole song. Nigga, I take out my headphones like, oh yeah, I just killed that shit. he'll come and say, run it back. I'll be like, that didn't sound, I mean, in my head, I'll be like, damn, that didn't sound good. He'll be like, nah, run it back. Like, so once I run it back, I'm like, bro, I killed that shit again. He'll be like, yeah, that was the one. And then I'll go back and listen. I'm like, wait, this sounds better than the first one. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that makes sense. You know, so
It sounds like you're a perfectionist.
yes.
You will
Yes.
you will rehearse your shit, and you want to get it all correct before you even go to the studio. And when you go to the studio, you kind of need that extra ear to be like, hey bro, do that shit over.
Yeah. I would have had my own studio and I was recording on my own. I, was recording songs that I rehearsed. I don't know if they'll be as good. I still need someone to tell me, like, Claudia too is one of my biggest critics. Some of the songs that, of course, I didn't release, she would tell me, like, nah, baby, nah. She'd be like, nah, I didn't like that one. And I'll listen to her because the female audience is very big in the music industry. So if my main female is telling me like, nah, that wasn't it, why would I go release that? So, so I definitely need someone to let me know but it has to be someone trustworthy, not just someone that's just saying like I said, a yes man. I need someone to let me know if something's really good or if it's really not.
And it's actually listening to the music.
It's actually listening to the bars, listening to my tone, listening to everything. Some people done told me, bro, your bars went crazy. I just didn't like the beat. And I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, everybody's not gonna like every beat. Like I said, that just because they don't like that one, that don't mean someone else didn't. So that's what I'm trying to get to. I don't want to have the same beat over and over, because what if I did have the same beat over and over, and that was one of the ones that I kept going back, what I'm saying, getting similar beats like that, then, that listener, and then along with maybe their friends or maybe other people as well, they're gonna be like, we didn't really like that beat. But your bars is good though. And I don't want to hear that, because that's not a good song to me. If the beat is good and the bars aren't, or vice versa, it's not a good song to me. It has to have both. So
personally, I definitely like feedback. I like negative feedback because, like you said, yes,
I love
man.
that. Yeah.
Yo, beat. This song is hard. This song is good. The bars is good. We don't need all that. I need you to really break down.
You need to let me know what I need to do better.
Yeah, break down what I need to do better.
Tell me what I need to do better.
Tell me what you didn't like. Everything I do ain't gonna be hard.
Right, and that's what, yeah, exactly.
Even if it is hard, tell me something that you didn't like, because I need for you to really be on my team and really break down how I can make this better. And it seems like you got those type of people on your team. You have your wife, you have your producer.
With Saint too.
Saint goes crazy. Yeah,
Saint, and shout out to my boy. I know I'm shouting a lot of people, but shit, they know who they are. And I had a studio session with him where I recorded 2 songs. He brought out a good sound. What I was trying to do, he added different stuff that I was like, okay, this making me sound different. The song Infinite Years I recorded with him, the single for my next tape, he added some shit on there. I'm like, this song go crazy.
You didn't even know you needed that.
Exactly. And like, if I was just around a yes man that just let the beat play and just like, yeah, bro, you hard. But then like, he let me know like, nah, take out like 1 or 2 words here. And I would do it and it will flow much better. So like, that's what I need. I need someone to let me know like you said, the negatives in the song, bro. Cause I don't wanna, like you said, I'm a perfectionist. So I don't wanna put out a song and it's like, yeah, this one part could have been better. The nigga in the studio with me said this shit was perfect. So I'd rather you tell me before I release it, because then I can try to fix it.
As an artist, I really respect how you let other people keep it real with you and say, hey bro, take this out, do this, do that. This will make the song better. And that's really what a lot of people don't like to hear. They don't like to hear the bashing, the negative feedback. I really like how you let other people influence your music and give you advice on how you can make the shit better, because as an artist, we don't always know what's right. We don't always know what's gonna sound good.
What's the ego thing, man? The music industry is full of big egos, and I'm just not one of them. I mean, of course, I'm very confident in myself. Sometimes I get cocky, because I do feel like that I'm different from everyone else. Some people feel like that they're so much better than someone, and it's like a lot of those people in the industry were like, they don't want to take criticism from people that's, although they haven't done music as long as you, or they haven't dropped as much music as you, they still have a musical ear. So like, they can let you know what's wrong and what's right. And those people that like, man, my shit sound good, bro. They already told me, back off Cleveland Ave. It's like, come on, bro. It's like, come on. That shit doesn't help anybody. It's not gonna help you put out the best music when you don't take criticism from other people. It's a lot of music that I've recorded. I just haven't, put it in a full project and, put it together, see what song. Because one thing that I look at when I'm about to drop something is, how does this song transition to the next one? Like, I don't want to just put songs together and they don't transition very well. So I'm gonna talk, like if I talk about something in one song and then you hear it later, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, that's what he was talking about. the song I had with Rashawn and Jordan, Jordan basically said in the end, he was like, y'all niggas be humble. And the very next song was called Confident or Cocky.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is a perfect transition because it's showing you that y'all niggas need to stay humble, but we confident. That's how I want to transition it. I want to make sure that every song follows the previous one, you know, very well. And that's why for the last song, when I named all 7 songs, I made it the last song. Because if I would have put it first, people would have been like, what's he talking about, Dan? Well, like I've said before, that I want to be my own self. I don't want to be like anyone else. One of the songs that I dropped was called One of a Kind because I feel like I truly am. You know, people gonna always have music comparisons. A lot of people say Wiz Khalifa. That's my favorite artist. So I mean, I need to be different from what, you know, this industry is trying to produce. And Nicki Minaj said the other day in one of her interviews that you don't need to follow trends. Like, people that follow the trends are the ones that's not gonna be as successful because all you're doing is following the trend. She said you need to be the opposite. You need to not follow any trend. Of course, I was already doing that, but to hear it from like one of the, you know, greats, it made me realize like you really need to do your own thing. Like, you don't need to be like anyone else. Every single artist around me, and if I realize that you're trying to be on one of those trends, of course, well, I'll kind of support you. But one, I'm not gonna repost anything that I don't approve of or that I agree with. The ones that's around me that's making great music and being themselves truly, all of them show me that you can be yourself and still be really, really good at music.
You definitely come original on your music. That goes into my next topic. Like, you really touch on sensitive topics that a lot of people wouldn't touch on. When I listen to a Trounce God song, I hear sensitive topics, I hear real shit, and I hear an artist that's not really trying to be like anybody else. And I just wanted to ask you, what goes into all of that?
To be honest, what I think that automatically separates myself without even trying is because I make music that's about my life. And no one has lived the same life as Trounce God. Think about the name. Like, there's nothing like anyone else.
What does it mean to you?
Well, Trounce, just the term Trounce means to heavily defeat. And I've seen it all the time in sports too. Like, you know, playing 2K, literally playing 2K, you'll see it, you know, like if you're doing like a franchise, you'll see if someone got killed by like 30 points. I even see it on ESPN, like, you know, I got pictures on my phone of like me seeing it on ESPN. I'm like, I gotta get a picture of this because they just said Trounce. And like, I'll see it when a team gets throttled. Like, you know, that's what it usually means. Coming into the music industry, that's what I wanted to do to the rap. Not to the rappers, but to the rap game. I wanted to trounce it. I wanted to dominate it. It's not even about being better than everyone else. It's about making the rap industry know that I killed it, you know. And that's the main thing that came from the name. You know, I just wanted to be at the top of that, and I wanted to express that the most. And I even have it in my bio, you know, the meaning of trounce, so people don't get confused. And because a lot of people don't know that it's a word. When we was freestyling in college one day, we was with Horace, Derek was there. We were freestyling and I had rhymed with the word trounce, and everyone stopped. It was like, trounce is not a word. I was like, it is, look it up. I was like, I've seen it plenty of times. I was like, look it up. So they looked it up. They said, bro, this shit a word. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, bro, so nobody in the room knew that this shit was a word. I'm like, wow, that must mean something to me. And we was all freestyling, just fucking around, and that shit became a lifestyle. You know, for me, Derek, EAB, shout out to him once again.
Shout out to all of them. Look at where she at right now, bro.
Crazy.
Do you feel like people take you seriously as an artist right now?
To be honest, bro, now yes. Before, which is crazy, I feel like other people did, but I didn't take myself serious because it was crazy. One day I was at Family Dollar by my house, and I was just picking up some snacks or whatever, and I ran across my dog Ortiz. He had told me, he's like, bro, well, I heard that song you dropped. He's like, yeah, but that shit hard. I was like, oh shit, appreciate it. And this is like before I even dropped the Birth of Trounce. I didn't know people listen to my shit. Like then I was like, I'm at that point, like before I dropped music, I was making music just for me to listen to, like, cause I like hearing myself. So I was just making music just for me to listen to. But like, of course, like I said, I put a couple songs on SoundCloud. He was like, bro, that song was hard. I was like, wait, I'm like, what, really? I'm like, bro, he don't gotta say this. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a Family Dollar. All he had to do was, you know, say what's up and keep it moving. But he stopped, you know, like his movement and actually brought that up. So it's like that's something that you didn't have to bring up, but you brought it up which makes me feel like, damn, like he truly meant it. That's just crazy. Same thing happened with Juwan. I ran into him and he told me the same thing, you know, one day, and shout out both of them.
That shit make you feel good, don't it?
Bruh, and it's just crazy. It's like every single feeling I have, or every single thing, like I put it in the song, bruh. On my song called Elevated that I dropped last year, I said it feels good when people tell you this they jam. Which means, I mean, of course, it's a little old school. People use jam. People don't really use jam, but it rhymed with what I was trying to say. But it feels good when people say, like, this is my shit. Like, people, like, that shit's the best feeling when motherfuckers is like, damn, this shit hard, but like this shit fire. And like they truly mean it, bro. Like not the yes man, but when they truly mean it, like you hear from, it's crazy, bro. Like my dad had told me that some of his friends had listened to my music. One of the songs with Claudia called Perfect Timing. He was like, man, they love this song, man. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, older people like my song. It's like, wow.
You didn't even think they would be a target audience.
Never, bro. And that went back for me to piggyback off of like all, you know, like going into all my songs, bro. Like I always say something that's happened to me or vice versa. In my song Sky's the Limit, I said I'm trying to make music for every age, basically. I said this ain't for little kids, it's for all ages. That was inspired by my dad telling me that his friends like my songs. So I'm like, so I can make music for all ages, you know? And like, wow. So let me keep doing this then, you know? Well, let me keep, you know, being me, be myself, you know, not changing anything that I'm doing. And eventually people will hear me enough. Hopefully I'll have like a decent fan base or whatever you call it.
From what I've seen, definitely think people are really catching on to you. Definitely think you have more growth to get yourself out to more people. Really, I just want to know what's the future. I know you say you're dropping a tape with your wife, dropping Infant Years. But what does the future hold for Trounce God Productions and everything that you're trying to get out to the fans?
Trounce and Tony collab tape.
Hey, that we just gonna hit that with that out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but yeah, now I definitely looking forward to that. And I've talked to John about this too, and we've kind of talked together, you know, adding a couple of songs, you know, together with all three of us. I just feel like that moving forward, I'm gonna have Infant Years probably like late fall, early winter, sometimes towards the end of the year, maybe on my birthday again, we'll see. And then after that, I'm gonna go with working on those collab tapes. Me and John spoke about one. After that, what I'm trying to do, this may seem like it's too long of a time, but I'm trying to take a year apart from when I drop, you know, my album, you know, The Birth of Trounce. I'm trying to take a year apart from like a year off at least, and then drop like every 2 years, because I'm a perfectionist, so I want it to be perfect when I drop it. I don't want to rush it just because people are saying that you haven't dropped it forever. Which that's why I kind of feel 2021 with a bunch of singles. I just feel like that people do get a little impatient with that. That's why I try to like put like songs out every now and then just to like show people that I'm still making music, that I'm still working. And then, you know, every 2 years I'm gonna come with 2 to 3 tapes, you know what I'm saying? Eventually I'll have like 10 tapes out. It might be time, you know, for me to drop the, you know, the official album.
You saying that you still gonna drop this music, but like the official album ain't gonna come till like a minute.
It might come like, yeah, it might come after a nigga that been played on the radio or something.
Can we expect any content?
That's why last year, of course I didn't drop any project, I dropped my music video. Because I wanted people to focus on that. Shit went crazy on IG. Got like over 27,000 views off of IG. Just to have the love from people. It's people that I didn't even know like actually listen to my music, like some of my friends, because they never commented on it or they never like reposted it. But like they'll comment on like posts I make. That shit was nice, or you know that shit was crazy. Like, you know, like hearing that from people that I don't usually hear nothing from about my music, it just inspires me to like keep making more and more.
From what we're hearing, bro, Trounce God going to take over this shit.
We'll see.
Really appreciate you for stopping by, bro.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Trounce God, tap in.
Hey man, go follow this man. He's on the come up, man. He's on the come up, man. This whole setting right here, bro, is amazing, bro. I'm really proud of you, bro, cause
for sure, appreciate
because you said you was gonna do it and you did it, man. You always say you gonna do something and you do it, bro. And that's why I respect you, bro, to this day, bro.
Oh no, most definitely. Hey man, another successful episode of your Expressurlifestyle podcast, and we out.